What's up, Seekers? Step into a world where tales are raw and mysteries got depth. Before we dive into this, make sure to like, subscribe, and connect with the voice behind the magic, at Stealth Vader. Thanks for being here. Now, let's get into this deep story that's about to unravel. Title: Moreland Street Nightmares. In the heart of a tight-knit neighborhood on Moreland Street, a grand two-story Victorian mansion stood distinguished but weathered. The house, with its faded hues of blue and gray, displayed intricate wooden carvings and large Victorian doors, surrounded by an overgrown lawn and a rusty fenced yard. It had an outdoor pool filled with murky waters and an aging two-car garage. Inside the expansive mansion boasted 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. Throughout the home, relics from the past lay scattered. Old family photos, dusty furniture, forgotten trinkets, all evoking a sense of timelessness. Dre and Kiki, young newlyweds, had recently moved into the community. Their backgrounds were as contrasting as their personalities. Dre, with aspirations of running for mayor to bring about change, was passionate about community transformation. Kiki, on the other hand, was a dedicated doctor, drawn to the city to make a difference. They had chosen the rundown house on Moreland Street not just for its affordability, but also as a project they could dive into together. Little did they know they had just stepped into the local legend that was the Moreland Street Mansion. The day they moved in, Tasha, a longtime resident, appeared from nowhere. "You need to leave. Don't ever look back at that house," she warned sternly. Kiki and Dre exchanged amused, albeit puzzled looks. Ghost stories? To them, it was just local lure. Kiki, ever the skeptic, laughed it off. "We don't believe in that type of shit." Dre nodded in agreement, his dreams of political aspirations and community change far overshadowing any old tales of ghosts. But Tasha was adamant. "This isn't a game. You need to leave and never look back at that house." Despite her warning, Kiki and Dre simply returned to their unpacking, confident in their choice. Tasha lingered for a few moments, her eyes never leaving the house, before she reluctantly turned and walked away. However, as they settled in, peculiar events unfolded. One particular room, however, resisted all attempts at entry. The locked door piqued Dre's curiosity, and his frustration grew daily. One afternoon, determined to uncover its mysteries, he returned with his toolkit. With a grunt and a swing of his hammer, the door gave way, revealing an eerie sight. The room was an abyss of black. Walls, windows, even the floors were painted in the darkest hue. Centered in the room stood a massive wicker chair, its presence unsettling, bathed in the intermittent flicker of the overhead light. They chuckled, trying to dispel the unease. "Previous owners must have had a goth phase," Dre joked. Kiki laughed, or maybe they were just crazy about interior design. The levity was interrupted when Dre thought he heard a whisper. "We're going to kill them next." Shaking his head, he dismissed it as fatigue. "Babe, I think I'm hearing things," he confessed. Kiki, ever the jokester, retorted, "Ninja, you're just hungry, and you've been at it nonstop. Do you want to play sultry medic?" As days passed, Dre's health took a sharp decline. He woke up to find his hair falling out, each strand oozing with a noxious-smelling pus. The sheets reeked, and every morning presented a new horror. Kiki, alarmed, urged him to consult a trusted physician. But the earliest appointment was 2 weeks away. Just when they thought it couldn't get any worse, Dre's condition evolved. His hair follicles sealed shut, causing his hair to grow underneath the skin, leading to excruciating pain. They tried to rationalize, attributing his ailments to stresses of the move, renovation, or perhaps some unknown allergen in the old house. The idea that something more malevolent was at play never crossed their minds. Kiki, hoping to distract from the chaos, continued with the renovations. That's when she stumbled upon a peculiar discovery in the kitchen. As she delved into the renovation of the kitchen, the black painted insides of the cabinets caught her attention, a stark contrast to the worn-out wood. It was a peculiar design choice, and Kiki found it both amusing and bizarre. While assessing the cabinetry, she discovered a folded piece of paper wedged at the back. Pulling it out and unfolding it, she found it to be a letter addressed to the new homeowners. The message was short and cryptic. "If you want to continue enjoying life, motherfucker, then leave our house now." Kiki was in stitches. Doubled over with laughter, she clutched the letter, her eyes watering from the hilarity of the situation. Dre, having just enjoyed a session of Pineapple Express, was in a heightened state of amusement. He laughed heartily, his chuckles echoing in the half-renovated kitchen. As Kiki recounted her discovery, to them it was just another quirky aspect of the old house. Perhaps a prank from the previous owner with an odd sense of humor. Neither took the ominous message seriously. Later that evening, the couple, now surrounded by a sudden and biting cold, felt an overwhelming sense of dread. The room's shadows seemed to grow longer, deeper, and more sinister. Whispers echoed throughout the space, growing louder, more persistent, a cacophony of voices from the past. Kiki, paralyzed by fear, felt icy fingers crawl up her neck, tightening, constricting.
"You should not have come here,"
one of the voices hissed directly into her ear. Dre, on the other hand, was met with an even more horrifying sight. Chains materialized from the shadows, slithering like serpents, wrapping around his ankles and wrists, pulling him taut. Old rusty tools, remnants of the house's dark history, began to hover around him. They came menacingly close to his skin, making tiny incisions, drawing blood. The scent of iron filled the air. The atmosphere was saturated with their combined screams, but the spirits seemed to relish in their torment. Time felt distorted. It seemed as though hours were passing in this hellish state. When it felt like they couldn't endure any more, a loud, reverberating chant filled the house. "Die, die, die." It pounded in their ears, urging, warning. Fighting to say something, Kiki managed to yell out, "Alexa, call 911." But the device remained silent, its lights eerily dim. With tears coursing down his cheeks, a mix of terror and desperation, Dre's voice trembled as he cried, "Jesus, Jesus, help us." It was a plea to a faith they had once forsaken. The chains released Dre, and the cold grip on Kiki loosened. As they sprinted to the front door, desperate to escape, they caught a glimpse of their reflections in the cracked mirror. Faces pale, eyes wide with terror, clothes stained with blood. Bursting out onto the street, they found Tasha sitting on her porch, a smug smile playing on her lips. She cackled loudly, pointing at them. "I told y'all smartasses not to go in there. I bet next time y'all listen." Her laughter echoed hauntingly in their ears as they fled into the night. As they continued to run, Kiki said, "It's giving. I love the Lord." And Dre proclaimed, "He heard my cry." The mysteries of Moreland Street remain, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to venture too close. As for Kiki and Dre, the experience was a chilling reminder that some things are beyond understanding, and not all tales are mere superstition. Respect for sticking with us through that ride. Hope the layers of this tale resonate deep. Make it count, like, subscribe, and stay connected with at Stealth Vader. Until our next deep dive, stay curious and let stories be your compass.